I would like to bring the court to the attention of the affidavit.
Proceedings captured at the Makadara Law Court.
The supporting affidavit of CIP Kemboi.
Show Brian Mwenda's effectiveness and confidence.
To number 4.
His aura of authority and command.
Hiding his lack of credentials to engage the court at the advocate level.
The Law Society of Kenya has outed Brian Mwenda as a fake advocate.
Can confirm we do not have an advocate by Brian Mwenda. What we have is another advocate by the name Brian Mwenda Nthigwa.
LSK revealed that they got wind of Mwenda's deception
in last year's September,
when the fake advocate stole the identity of Brian Mwenda Nthigwa.
Brian Mwenda has handled high-profile cases in court despite not having a certificate to practice law.
And is constantly seen attending LSK meetings.
Amefanya makesi 26 na yote ameshinda.
Brian Mwenda is not the only person who fakes his education just to get a job. Here in Kenya, this is the norm. So don't worry, I am going to show you how Brian Mwenda cheated the system, especially without papers. Here is the simple guide.
I come from a family of my father and my mother. I have a sister, her name is Yvonne, and I have a brother, Kim. Niko na ndugu anaitwa Martin na nina
watatu, so mko nne kwa familia?
Yeah, it's 4.
Wewe ni mtoto ngapi?
I'm the last born actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine being a young, hardworking person with big dreams. You've tried everything to make life better.
What was your childhood like?
Very normal, not privileged, but kidogo hakukuwa na pesa.
Ulishi wapi? Ulishi Nairobi? Ulishi?
It was a balance of both.
Wapi
It
na
was
wapi?
Meru and Kariobangi South.
Becoming a lawyer really requires many years and a lot of money.
It is not just expensive here in Kenya, it's expensive in the world over.
Our learned friend Wakili, what does it take?
Your first step is earning a Bachelor of Laws degree from a university accredited by the Council of Legal Education. This program typically takes 4 years to complete.
The qualification normally is a C for the private students, and when you're government sponsored, it's different.
Yes.
You need to get A- at least.
Costs vary depending on the university and your funding situation. Once you have your LLB, you'll need to enroll in the Advocates Training Program ATP at the Kenya School of Law. This intensive 1-year program equips you with the practical skills required for legal practice.
If your parents are able to afford it, well and good, they can cover your school fees. The range of school fees is usually 80,000 all the way up to 200,000, depending on the school that you're going to. And this is not per year, this is per semester. And for law school, there are 2 semesters a year for a period of 4 months.
Becoming a lawyer in Kenya typically takes 6 to 7 years. This includes 4 years for your undergraduate studies, 1 year for the ATP, and 6 months of pupillage. You are Brian Mwenda. You had passion and dream to become a lawyer since your childhood. You were seen helping people. With your ambitions, you choose a quick and easy way to become a lawyer.
Mtu anapenda kufanya mambo na law, kutetea watu.
Since high school?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Si hajaanza saa hii.
But nothing seems to work. Despite all your efforts, things remain tough.
Brian is my brother, caring, supporting. In fact, ni breadwinner, even now.
But you can't give up because your family depends on you. They see you as their hope.
Yeye ndiye anategemewa kwa kila kitu. Yeah, he is a breadwinner of the family.
Brian Mwenda Njagi became a fake lawyer by impersonating a legitimate lawyer with a similar name, Brian Mwenda Nthigwa, through a series of fraudulent acts. Here are the key steps that Brian cleverly used to acquire his dream job.
Brian Mwenda impersonated an advocate, Brian Nthigwa.
Mwenda used a common international fraud scheme known as business email compromise, BEC,
and infiltrated the LSK portal to make the changes.
He contacted the LSK secretariat claiming to be the legitimate Brian Mwenda Nthigwa and reported issues with his email credentials, which allowed him to gain access to the portal.
The LSK teams would then notify him that the details recorded in the system did not match his. Brian has has reportedly associated with lawyers and advocates in various instances over the years.
I will inform you that they have a chairman, and the chairman had not consented to me watching brief for the complainant. Yes. However,
with the stolen identity and access to the LSK portal, Mwenda began practicing law, representing clients in various courts, including the High Court.
In this amateur video, Brian is caught up in an altercation with police, and he introduces himself as an advocate.
Burning to say something.
I, however, couldn't address the court because
on the second day of October, for instance, he made his way to the Thika Law Courts, where a land fraud case was ongoing in Court 1. Mwenda sought to be enjoined in the case as an advocate for the victims.
And Court of Appeal. He managed to win several cases, which garnered significant public attention and even praise from some quarters.
I have a few political godfathers who are good men.
Is he a secret agent?
And say there are a few people that are holding my hands.
Kama nani? Tumeona wazi. Mike Sonko.
Mike Sonko is a good man.
My client, Brian, is out of the prison barriers. He has been paid cash bail of 200,000 shillings by His Excellency Governor Sonko, who believes in the skill and in development of the youth.
Statement shared on social media. Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli pledged support for Brian Mwenda, adding that the government should hasten the process of launching the recognition of prior learning policy, which seeks to acknowledge the skills and competencies of individuals.
Why is he getting support for criminal activities from institutions and from persons who have previously served a public office?
In Kenya, if you know a few politicians, you can get most of the things easily. With high corruption cases from politicians, it has led the Kenyan youth to engage with fraudulent activities. For instance, 3 students who robbed a bank in Thika due to lack of employment.
The suspects, identified as brothers Charles Mwangi Murakaru, Hafold Munene Murakaru, and their cousin Julius Ndungu Wainaina, to answer to charges of breaking and stealing of over 50 million Kenyan shillings from KCB branch in Thika.
And their father was disappointed. Their father blamed the corrupt system in Kenya.
He blamed high levels of corruption and impunity in the country, especially the NYS scandal and the Mafia House scandals, for inspiring his sons into crime. He said, taxpayers lost billions and the perpetrators of these scandals got away with it. We know them and they are still at large. How can you explain to your children that it is bad to engage in such a vice when senior government officials engage in theft and get away with it?
Githui's interview sheds light on his perspective as a father grappling with the implications of his son's alleged actions, while also highlighting the societal issues that may have influenced their decisions. The KCB Thika bank robbery is considered one of the most daring heists in Kenya's history. The youth being young and ambitious, but the education system fails to get them their dream job.